Okay, hello. We're really freaking late today. I had a lot of things to do today. Hey, just a lot of extra stuff. Let's turn down the internet volume real fast. Just a little bit quieter in the background there. Hopefully that won't be too loud. Yeah, I'm gonna have it a little bit higher. There we go. If the music gets a little too loud, just let me know. Oh, I'll adjust it. But yeah. Okay, let's go. Hello. We're live. We're full live now. Oh my goodness. I ran with the dog today, and also, you know, went ran really far with the dog today. Came home, cooled down out and stretch, and then took a nap. And then I had to go watch the pot boil and make sure that the homemade meat sauce that my mom likes to make every so often didn't like burn to the house to the ground and everything like that. So it's been a very busy day for me. Got a lot done, and yes, I know that we're done with Octopath Traveler 2, and the next game to try and blast through the storyline for is going to be Yakuza Pirates of Hawaii. But because we're so late, I decided, you know what, it's been a while since I've done a game development stream, and I figured, hey, I might as well work on it and just, you know, we'll throw a couple hours here and there. I don't know how long I'll actually go for. I'll try and aim for 2 hours. And today it's simple. We're just going to be doing lore making for the D&D game, and we're lore making for the game itself, because for those who don't know, my D&D campaign that is also aired on Twitch and also aired over and re-aired over on YouTube is based in the same world. It is the same world, same continent, same lore for everything. So working on one is working on the other. And that's what we're going to do today. We're going to do something specific. If it looks like this is weird, it's because this is technically internet browser in full screen mode. For those who don't know how to do it, press F11 and oh, that's the wrong one. Need to be on the page itself, but press F11 and voila, you can make it go hide and everything. But yeah, every time you go up too high, it jumps it. But that's fun technology there. This is being streamed over on Twitch today for those who follow this on the YouTube channel. Reason why? It was just faster to set up this way, and I didn't feel like doing it. Also, I think there's a little bit more fun chat interactions over on Twitch than there is YouTube, but this will be uploaded immediately to YouTube once I'm done with the stream, or none and everything like that. So anyway, so my goal today is, you know, while I need to work on the lore for the area that the game takes place in, I need to work on Nuremberg, I need to work on the northern plains of north of Nuremberg and all the things related to that. I'm actually going to work on an existing page already, which is the gnomes specifically. Why? The gnomes don't have much going on for them right now compared to like the Dragonkin. The Dragonkin have like a whole bunch of lore put into them. Same thing for like the elves. They have a bunch of lore put into them already. Even the orcs have like a whole bunch of lore on them. I don't have I don't end up having a lot for like other races, like humans. There's not a lot on them. Dwarves, very little information on them. Beastkin, the very little. Halfling, nothing. Giants, nothing. Fairies, nothing. Tieflings, nothing. It's the gnomes' turn today. And why the gnomes specifically? Because in the D&D campaign, in the Tales of Zestiria, my players are in Brazil, the capital city of the gnomes. So, you know, might as well work on them. I might as well work on the gnomes themselves. And I forgot to tag World Anvil. World Anvil is a fantastic thing. This is where the lore is located. You can find this online. It's actually listed in as a bot command in here. So this is a fantastic thing because, you know, it has so much that you could put into everything, and as such you can easily just develop everything. In fact, I'll even just go to like the dashboard here real fast. We'll come back to it. It's easy to navigate. But if we create a new article, to pick out whatever you want. So you got like genetics, you got building, and so you got characters, you got the country, gods and deities, East geography items. There's so many options on here that, yeah, for those who are not used to this is a lot. And I mean like a lot. There's so much that you can actually do in world building that people take for granted. Like, you think, oh, I just build a world and everything. Well, as soon as you start flushing it out, you realize that, oh, you need a religion, you need to know different species, what's the vehicle types they use, what are the settlements they have, are there specific documents, what's the military like, what's the special materials, what's conflict like what's the technology level, titles that people can gain, anything, do they have tradition? And there's so much to it that, you know, it's hard to know exactly where things lie the most. And then in each and every one of these things, there are, you know, extended prompts. So like here's the generic info. So like you have your basic description of what they are, and you have like, okay, what are their scientific classification? What are they? They're Homo sapien, and what are they? And well, in this case of these things, they are humanoid. And so humanoid. There we go. Bam. First set of information gathered right there and there. Yeah. What's their origin, and is there a parent species to it? What's the geographical stuff? So you have all these bits, and then of course you their anatomy, morphology, their perception, all this other stuff, biological, and then it goes even further. Biological traits, the average lifespan, average height, weight, everything, their geographical location, the intelligence, body color. It's just so much. I love World Anvil for this. Also, it's like, here, what's their history, naming tradition, major organizations, everything like that. And yeah, there's so much to the gnome, to like every aspect of this thing, that it's a little overwhelming. It can be a little overwhelming for those who are not ready to full dive into world building. And I'll tell you one thing, world building, not easy. Like it's not easy. So hello, there we go. I was gonna say, like, come on, thing, don't break on me now. Yeah, world building is not easy. Like, everything like that. Okay, that is weird. Oh, streamer, you travel the waste of twist and anything. Apparently, chat has sound effects now. I don't know how I feel about this. Is this a Twitch update, or is this an OBS update? I don't know. I'm gonna have to look into this thing, because I know that might get annoying after the time. But yeah. Let's see. What is this? Give me a second. My brain is like half functioned right now. my brain is half function right now. Oh, because again, I've had so much thing. What is I have toasty, so grilled sandwich pretty much. Oh, what is my favorite good sense? You know what? I like a good turkey pesto sandwich and everything like that. Stream of the update should affect. Stream of the update should affect. Well, it works. It works for this type of stream where, like, you know, I may be focusing on something else and everything like that. But a good turkey provolone sandwich. That's a good one right there. Get a little bit of pesto on there. Or get some. Either you can use like good wheat bread or good white bread, and put butter on both sides. On both ends of it, and grill both sides of it, and it looks fine. Or you can get like what is it, ciabatta bread, and toast the ciabatta bread a bit, and put the turkey on there with some pesto, the provolone cheese. Go a little bit further, add tomatoes, maybe some onions, and I had one of those for lunch today. It was great, fantastic. I love it. Good stuff. Good stuff. All right. So most of these up. Anyway, back to the lore development. But yeah, most of the first up here is links to other articles and everything, which I'm not going to worry about. So we're going to focus more on these things here. Possibly. Hey, but you know what also sounds really good right now? A toasted boot. That also sounds really good too. You know, if you don't know what a toasted boot is, I'm sorry, that's a secret thing. And do you know what a toasted boot is? Yes, let's find out. Oh, shall we? Let's see now. Let's see. We got the anatomy and morphology, a number of limbs, and muscle structure of things. I don't know if I want to put too much of that thing right there. That's what I thought. That's what I thought indeed. Alright then. Well, we'll keep an eye on you, sir. And we'll go from here. It's conservation status. Yeah, are gnomes under conservation status? Possibly. Possibly. Hard to say. I want to find out. Chat settings. Do I have a way? What is this saying? You can't tell. I'll have to look into this thing. And I bought. Well, I was making sure. The responses were very robotic. Yeah, it's a toasted boot. It's a good thing. The fine leather, cooking, and everything like that. And lovely. Let's see. Very sensory, genetic, and reproduction. Growth rate, stages, ecology, habitat, biological cycle. A lot of these things aren't really, going to be in here. Behavior and psychology. Well, let's start with this one actually. Hey, gnomes are. Let's see. You get to see my lovely writing technique here, and just how terrible I can be when I first get started at writing anything. You know what? Let's actually go back up. We'll start up with a generic description first, because that's just a good warm up for everything like that. So let's see now. Hey. No, let's see. Gnomes The gnomes ancestry are an interesting lot. For one, they're probably the most eccentric of all the races, obsessed with their pursuit of knowledge and achievement. They are one of the larger populations on Cestria, taking up a good portion of the southern area of the continent. And they are known as the Masters of Arcana. And they are known as Masters of Magic, and the Arcane. As Masters of and the Arcane, as they are credited with the creation of the various forms of arcane magic. And as you can see, as a writer, I can't spell. Credited with the creation right there. So yeah. Hang on. Have a good one. Have a good one. I hope that helps your survey there. All right then. So let's see now. What do we have? So let's see. I don't know if any of arcane magic. Gnomes are highly intelligent and very resourceful in their daily lives and professional careers. God, I cannot spell today, guys. Holy moly. That's what I get for being a dumb VTuber. I don't know. I shouldn't say that. No, I shouldn't say that. This has been a rough week for. It's been a rough week for in a daily life and professional career. Resourceful and it's been a very rough week, I think, for people, and the start of this year has kind of been sad because we all heard the news. For those who follow the VTubers, we all heard the news. Galgura is graduating from Hololive and moving on after her next biggest collaboration and everything like that, which is sad. And it's sad. And whatever the management disputes that she had, and I understand that, idol culture as a whole has a lot of issues. It can be very good for a person's career. I mean, you could make a lot of money at being an idol and everything like that. I mean, just look at some of the top idols that have ever existed. Backstreet Boys have been in idols before. Even, God forbid, what's his name? Justin Bieber. He was an idol, and his career, he made a ton of money. I mean, he still has a ton of money. He's got royalties for. He's probably set for a good portion of his life because of him being a idol. But it's also the hardship of it is that when you're an idol working for a professional company, it could be hard for a number of things. And so to Galgura, who probably has no idea who I am and no idea and probably has never even heard of me, whatever your choice in future career, I hope you find something that you enjoy. I hope that you continue to bring smiles to everyone that you come into contact with, and I do wish you luck in your future careers and everything like that. Never give up. If you want to continue doing content creating, you have plenty of options available to you. You know, I mean, we can look at some of the more famous indie revivals of Doki Bird and everything like that. There's a number of options that are fundamentally possible for you and everything like that. So good luck to you. Good luck to you, Agura, and thank you for being our little shark for 4 years, almost 5 years. And it all started with a... That's how it all started. The viral shark, the viral little shark that just started with a microphone test. So yeah. Anyway, that... I know my 2 cents don't really matter when it comes to professional career VTubers and live streamers, but I felt like I had to say something just because, you know, as someone who does this as a hobby more so than a career, and as someone who, you know, was inspired by Galgura partially. I mean, granted, mostly by just her like can-do attitude and everything like that. And yeah, it's kind of sad to see some of the talents that you think would last for years upon years. I mean, look at me. I've been doing live streaming technically since 2016. That's right. Next year will be 10 years since I've been on Twitch. This is kind of nutty. Just kind of nutty. But yeah. Anyway, back to gnomes, man. Gnomes. The gnomes in my world are, you know, highly intelligent. They created arcane magics, and they're you know, a little bit neurotic in some way. Hey. So let's see. What is there? Go through a. Let's go to the extended here. We're gonna work kind of out of order for everything. Just kind of pick up a few things here and there. So, gnomes are some of the most intelligent and individuals in the world. Let's see. They're creative and analytical minds lend them great ability to calculate and formulate solutions to various... That's totally not how you spell any of this shit. Yes, here I go, embarrassing myself online. At least as a spell checker. Intelligent individuals. Analytical solutions and various... It's not like I spell phonetically, guys. That's what I do. I spell phonetically. The various let's see, and creative analytical minds lend them great ability to calculate and formulate solutions to various situations. That's not how you spell that, but whatever. Situations. Fucking bother me all day. Situations. Yeah. Various situations and problems. Let's problems. There we go. That's correct. Let's not have dyslexia here either. Various situations and problems. Notes. Known for their advancement in magical research, research and development, and comma, gnomes are often sought out when magical devices are in need of repair or for helping with magical issues. There we go. Develop this all sort of thing. It's not often and reached out to anything. This is because of the well known and documented in fact that gnomes created are the various schools of arcane magic. Schools of arcane magic. They continue to push the boundaries of these same fundamental schools of magic to this day, and help develop I will leave that alone for now. Help develop new forms of magical tools and technologies. I can't believe I spelled that correctly. Fundamentals and alright, so there we go. That's one thing that they've done, and that's how it is. Normally, like they have in fantasy, gnomes are known for being tinkerers. They tinker with things and build mechanical devices, and they make them quite large. And look at my giant robot I made out of 2 cogs and a toothpick and some battery acid. I don't know. No, they're more often in fantasy, they're known for that. They're not known for being the magic-y sort of things. While yes, they are known to do magic and everything, but if you look at like most modern or most traditional fantasies, the gnomes in World of Warcraft are tinkerers. They made Tinkertown and the giant gears and everything like that. They made the flying octocopters that the dwarfs use and everything like that. They make these robot chickens you run around on. They created the flying airships, which I did technically have them make in this world too, so that's the same. But they're mostly known for like creating like mechanical devices. I decided to make them the ones that created arcane magic. So it wasn't just something that, you know, a human wizard decided that they wanted to do it, or like the ancients discovered magic, the firstborn and taught it to the rest of the. No, gnomes are like, hey, dragons can use magic. Dragons use magic. Elves have magic. Dwarfs may not have magic, but dragons and elves have magic. Why can't we use magic? Are we just like not capable of doing it? No, we're gonna figure out. We're gonna crack this formula, and that's what they do. And that's what they did. They went, cracked the formula for how magic works in the world, and thus magic was. That was it. Average weight. I don't know. Let's go. They range between 75 to 100 and let's say 100 and 135 IBS. There we go. They're not heavy. Average height, they are between what? I would say, let's see, 3 feet and 3 feet and 4. Wait, how is 4 feet? 4 feet is. I don't have a ruler on me. I'll come back to this. They're short. Average lifespan. Let's go 165 years. Average lifespan 165. There we go. What are their biological traits? Gnomes are known. Gnomes are known. There we go. 3rd time's the charm, guys. Known for their short stature and often bushy hair. That's right, they often have bushy hair. Bushy hair. Often have bushy hair. Yeah. More often stout. More often, and they are stout. And often they are stout and a tad bit thick. A tad bit. Let's go chubby. Chubby around the limbs. Often anything. Gnomes tend to look like very, very short humans. It's like very, very short humans. Humans in current modern years. And current modern years. Their ears are slightly pointed and are larger than an average humans. And are larger than an average humans, and by about. No, we won't go into that much detail. No, about saying, and they are not known for having to, and they're not known for having. What are humans known for having? Let's not do that. Let's see. And they are. And voices tend to be at a naturally higher pitch than most other races. There we go. Naturally, there we go. That's a big thing. So, gnomes don't speak like this.
They usually speak like this, have a naturally higher tone of voice. That's why Jim Box sounds like this. An old man who doesn't really have the change, just right. Even the boss of the mafia is a bit of a higher tone. He does not speak very loud.
That's a bit harder to do. Yeah, I have a far more naturally deep voice, so you know I have to push my throat back.
That's like a lot higher.
Oh boy, yawn time there. Yawn time indeed. All right, what else do we have? Geographical distribution, and let's go with that. How are they distributed? Most gnomes live in the southern part of Cestria. Southern parts of Cestria, but have residents throughout the land itself. Residents throughout the land. Throughout the land itself. Of preferring slightly warmer. They prefer slightly warmer weather. Warm. They prefer slightly more climatized nations that stay relatively. That's not how you say it. Well, that relatively warm throughout the. I say it's relatively warm throughout the year. No, let's go. Hello? Yeah. Thank you. Climate. Nope. Climate. Climate. Eyes. Really, you can't find that word. I know it's a word. They prefer slight areas that stay relatively warm throughout the year. Throughout, I can't spell. I'm a writer who can't spell. That's a personal problem. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Gnomes have a New York or a Boston accent. It's however they live. Maybe more Boston. They're a little bit more aggressive in the city. I tend to do more Boston than I do New Yorking. I don't know why I do it like that, but I don't. That's accents are fun, man. And no matter where you're from or who you are, you're going to sound like you're insulting somebody, regardless. So. Fun fact about accent, though, like there are some cultures, it's like Japan, for example, that actually prefer you to speak in a Japanese style of English, even if it sounds like you're like putting on a very bad Japanese accent. If you speak like this, go to McDonald's. They prefer that than saying, "Hey, let's go to McDonald's." McDonald. McDonald. I don't know, that's a more Japanese way of saying it. And they actually prefer that because they understand that a lot better than just McDonald's. 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 There we go. There. Yeah. Yeah, so average physique. Gnomes are short, and average physique short and gnomes are short. Leave it at that for now. Figure out thing. Facial characteristics and features. No men are known to grow out mustaches and beards as they reach adulthood and can be almost as impressive as any dwarf. Okay, dwarf's beard as impressive as any dwarf's beard. Yeah. No grout. That can almost be the present thing. Gnome males often have slightly larger noses than other creatures, but this trait has dwindled in recent decades. Can't spell. Decades recent. I think it's supposed to be. Declined. There we go. That's a completely off word there. Yeah. They used to have slightly larger noses, but now they don't have them so much anymore. They're back down to normal things. Yeah. Eyes tend to be larger than an average humans, but not as large as a goblin. The goblins or noglins. There we go. And I have this in here for a reason, because these are part of races. And I think there's a difference between goblins and noglins. Noglins. That's naglins. Noglins. Yeah, and the reason I have this as a different thing, noglins are the enemies that it's some of the enemies that you'll be fighting in the video game. And I wanted to make them distinctly different than goblins, because goblins are technically part of the orc race. Actually, real fast, I have 300 words on here. Let us... Where's the save button? Advanced options, where's save? 356. What? How to save? Hello? Is there no save button? I'm slightly concerned here, guys. Usually there's a giant save button here. Reference and and this is published, and I click that to make that as a draft. Let's view it. Okay. Alright, it looks like it's doing fine. Alright, let's go back to the editing of the species. We're just gonna go back and make sure. Alright. Yeah, good. It is saving it. Okay, good. Woo! I was concerned there for a second, like, oh god, no. Let's see, how do I... Alright. Biotin and coloring. Gnome skin tone tends to be more on the pale, peachier side of the skin color spectrum. However, gnomes out in other environments and have been known to have darker skin tones as well. For example, the gnomes native more so to the scorching expanse tend to have far darker, more chocolatey skin, and to help combat the harsh nature of the sun. Scorching expands. Pale. On the pale peach side of the color spectrum, there we go. Environments, chocolatey. Help combat and say, hey. There are also gnomes that live in deep underground that depends on in other locations of Terras and Rohun. Did I spell that correctly? I don't think I did. Oh, it's right up here. It's right there. I'm doing Terras and then Rohun. In other locations of Terras and Rohun. In other locations there, then that have a more charcoal or ash and skin tone. There we go. Chark L. Nice with charcoal. I cannot spell today. That is a fact. Charcoal. That's how you spell it. Alright, let's see. Charcoal. Or ash. Really? Let's see. Oh, it's just ashen. There's no ED. There we go. Or charcoal or ashen skin tone. There we go. Let's see now. Alright, there we go. Problem solved. So yeah, that just represents the scenes. And again, a lot of these scenes are just quick snippets of stuff and everything like that. It's not necessarily, you know, a full story of why it is. No, it's like there's a lot of just little tiny snippets that help develop the look of the thing. So symbiotic and parasitic species, we don't need to include that. They don't have those. There's nothing about those. In general, like that. But say, all right, social structure. Gnomes are a gnome society. Society functions much like a top-down management system. Top-down management system. While there is a voted in government body, most gnome societal structures are based around a position class system. And I'll go further into that. Let's see. Seriously, can I like? Hang. Alright, so. It is often seen that those with more prestigious or high-ranking jobs are considered upper class, where those with lower end or intern like jobs are treated like low class. I'm treated like low class. Is it upper? Hello? Why? What the fuck? Stop that. There we go. Alright, there we go. Alright. Okay, like lower class. An example of this could be described as a business owner of a top magical tool or construction and company has more social status than a gnome farmer. There we go. So that's basically the way it's saying. Basically the way it's saying it. Oh no. And a gnome farmer. So yeah. I have to consider that one a little bit more here in a bit, but ad break is about to start up, and I'm gonna go to the bathroom real fast, as well as go get a drink and maybe some Pocky snacks. So we'll be right back after the commercial break here, and we'll keep going on the lore building here for just a moment. So we'll be right back, folks. Okay, we're back. Sorry, I took a little bit longer. Again, there's been a lot of stuff going on today, and I just got pulled to do something else real fast, but we're back. Slightly longer break. But I got my pocket, I got some water that has some flavorings in it. That's it again. Yeah, where were we? Yes, working on gnomes. Gnomes, everything like that. All right. What is the species? Domestication. So this is more like if it was like a pet. Domestication. We're not worrying about this. We're not. They are not slaves or anything. Uses byproducts and things. So this is basically like, what are they used for? Making magic. I'll probably dive into this later. I'm just trying to get the basic information down right now. But there we are. Average physique. I think. So gnomes are short or ranging between the heights of 3 feet and 4 feet. Ranging the heights between 3 feet and 4 feet. And so heights ranging between the heights of 3 feet and 4 feet. And so you got your really tall gnomes at about 4 feet tall, and your average gnomes at about 3 feet tall. Now, average. Let's see. Actually, we could do that. Average height, 3 feet. 3 to 3 feet to 3.5. Wait, we do it like 3 foot to 3 foot 5 inches. There we go. And we'll take that. There we go. 3 foot to 3.5 feet. 3 to 3.5 feet. That's their average height. And so again, they're not really all that tall. Average length, they're not really long, so we don't need to worry about that. Average length would be like snakes and everything like that. So, ranging between 3 feet and 4 feet, with the average being about 3 foot 2 inches. With the average being about 3 foot 2. The average for being about 3 foot 2. Both male and females tend to be about the same size, but with female gnomes being a bit more slender and lean, being a bit more slender and lean, and males being a bit more bulky, and stout. There we go. Bulky is what's with you. All right. So basically, females tend to be a little bit more on the thinner side of slender and lean in versus bulky and stout. Average physique. There we go. So gnomes Gnomes are not known for their environmental adaptivity. That's not how you spell that. But are capable of living in most environments. There we go. Capable of living in most environments. There we go. So we got all that taken care of. All right, I think that takes care of that page. Let's go back to here. Gnomes maintain the standard humanoid and anatomy with two arms, two legs. These torso and skull. Torso and skull. Alright. King. Their most identifying traits are their size and the large semi-pointed ears they have. Number 11 skeletal structures, everything like that. What's another thing? Are their size? They're larger. They're larger than average eyes, and large semi-pointed ears. Yes. These ears are shaped mostly like humans. Shaped mostly like humans and not elongated like elves. Let's reverse that. Ears are not elongated like elves and are more appear more human-like, and appear more human-like. There we go. Perfect. Alright, perception, sense, anything. Gnomes in the past tended to rely on their hearing and eyesight to keep awareness of predatory creatures such as wolves, bears, and the occasional insert name of fantasy predatory creature here. Occasional woolly rhino. Called woolly rhino. Woolly rhino. Okay. most let's see, what is it, the most sensitive, the most let's see, the most gnomes are still probably the most magically sensitive creatures in the world. There we go. This is being more naturally gifted in the understanding of magical forces and environments. There we are. Natural environments, there we are today. So there we go. Oh, just good sims. Genetics and reproduction. Gnomes reproduce like most humanoid races in the world, by building, well, here we go. Oh. Pop up the age content restrictions. Sound the alarms. I don't have a soundboard, but sound the alarm. Adult content here. No, I'm just kidding. We're talking about genetics here, man. By sharing half my males and females sharing half their DNA with their offspring. Where's that offspring? Gnomes are capable, like most races, to also cross-breed with other individuals of differing races. I won't go into any further details than that because we don't need to know about courtship stuff. This isn't the Dragon Kid. I don't need to explain how humans can have dragon-born babies and how, like, they grow from an egg and everything like that. I don't know how to explain all that. Gnomes grow at a relatively slow rate mentally, but physically reach adult size within 20 years of their life. Within 20 years of their life. So, yeah, you don't see too many little gnomies running around. They don't. There's not too many little ones. Like they're what, 2 feet tall? They're no taller than a fairy. Okay. Just having some Pocky here real fast, folks. Don't mind me. Pockies are so good, man. They really are. One package for serving, so pretty much they have enough in here for one person to enjoy it a lot. And You get enough chocolate to satisfy your chocolate craving, as well as the bite of the pretzel bit that's in the middle of it. It's really good. Yeah, it sounds like a typical anime trope then, but it's really good. I'm actually kind of sad I didn't actually buy any Pocky in Japan. Probably because it's just like, I don't want to be cliche. I want to try some of the other stuff, and I end up buying more soft serve than anything else. Man, they had some good soft serve over there. Oh, like it wasn't just like, oh, let's go to McDonald's and get some. No, their soft serves were like solid, and like there weren't just like creamy meltiness and stuff. It didn't melt very fast, but oh man, they were super good. Good. And gnomes, young gnomes retain their childlike face for years. Yes. There's retain their childlike faces for years is up until they reach adulthood around let's see, they live up to 165, so they usually reach adulthood around 36 years of age. So you heard it for Earth here and things. The legal age of gnomes for, yeah, no, all the fun stuff that you could do, 36. That's right. You have, let's see, 1 second. That's right. If you want to date a gnome proper, they got to be 36 years old. That's right. Eat it. Okay. Anyway, jokes aside. That's because they live for a lot longer lives than most normal things do. Reach adulthood around 36 years of age. Until they reach a thing when their faces take on a more mature look, and male gnomes begin to grow facial hair. That's right. If you see a gnome that looks young, they don't have any facial hair. And gnomes start actually getting older, they start growing facial hair. The way it is. It's the way it be. Alright then. That was I. Alright. Let's see now. So. What do we have? What do we have here? Oh, here's here. Once gnomes reach the age of 120, they begin to look more elderly with wrinkles forming on their faces and bodies. But pretty much, within 20 years of their life, they reach their full height of growth. Oh, they are considered a child up until the age of 36, when they become, when they start looking more mature, like actual adults. So all the little all the baby fat just kind of goes away. Right? You've seen it happen. Like, you look at someone in high school, they look like a kid, and all of a sudden, bam! They have a chiseled jawline or a supple jawline, and if you're on the female side of things, and bam, they're an adult. All of a sudden, they're still mentally a kid, but you know, they're an adult now, and they start growing out their mustaches. Alright. What kind of habitat do they live in? Gnomes. Gnomes prefer to live in large cities. Like a city. Large city. Large city is like their capital, Brazil. Now, and like the capital, Brazil, and are rarely seen out in country like environments. And I'm really seeing with that in country like environments. Alright, so basically you don't see too many gnome farmers. Or at least not too many of them. There's cities and towns tend to be large and compact compared to other cultures, as their and now we'll leave that thing often becoming a complicated weave of streets and pathways that can be confusing to other races in the land. Compared. There we go. Yeah, that's what it is. That's generally what happens. They're city folk. Oh, that's what they do. They prefer larger cities. How does biology make it affect the passage of time and the seasonal changes? Biological cycle. Nothing really changes for them, like physically. Dietary needs and habits. Gnomes are omnivorous, as preferring a balanced meal of meat and vegetables. There we go. However, due to their societal natures, they more often prefer fast, quick, and convenient food as to keep focused on their current task or project. Basically, they like fast food. Societal. Societal nature, convenient, to keep for clothes. Focused on their current task. Okay, there we go. Yeah. Let's see. Behaviors and psychological. So the behaviors. Gnomes are by far the most studious and intelligent and individuals in the world. They are they love the pursuit of knowledge and the growth and let's see, they love the pursuit of knowledge and the progression of progress, progression of progress. Pursuit? Presume, no. Pursuit. I don't know how to spell pursuit, guys. Oh, God. At least I don't know how to spell it well enough that autocorrect can fix it. They love the pursuit. Not how you spell it. God, fucking. It's a sprint. That's. Oh, how do you get that out of pursuit? Oh my fucking God. Individuals. There we go. And knowledge. All right. Do that. All right, we're gonna go to Google again real fast, folks. Give me a second. The pursuit of. Okay, there it is. It's S-U-I-T. God damn it. Sorry. Pursuit. There we go. Problem solved. Problem solved. When in doubt, type it into Google. I'll probably figure it out for you. And the progression of progress in whatever field they choose to divulge into. That's me coming up with words right here. That's developed. Oh. They choose to invest. There we go. Invest into. This makes them great workers for research firms, banking operations, and magical tool and research, magical tool and development, and jobs and firms like that develop banking operations, magical tool and development jobs, and what else can we say? Hey, they like to study, research firm. Oh, that's not research. That's Research. There we go. That's how you spell it. Research firms, banking operations, medical solutions, and logistics operations. There we go. Operation. There we go. There we go. Logistic operations. However, this also means that they can often lose focus on things around them, making them more complacent to just accept the happenings around them rather than question them. So there we go. So that's the psychology. They are fantastic ADHD workers. They will get your task done. They will do it all really well, but they're more likely to agree to whatever nonsense you're having there. So yeah, this has led them to. This has led and many to feel that gnomes lack any sort of backbone when it comes to their personal lives and standards. Personal lives and ethical responses. That's not. I don't know how. No, that doesn't sound right. That doesn't sound right at all. Let's see now. All right then. Oh boy. All right, then. So, let's see now. When it comes to their personal lives or their current well-being. As such, this has led to some localized stability problems in their own government and in their own government, as well as treatment of their own people, as well as the treatment of their own. Let's see, treatment is all one word, so there we go. And this is where the mafia comes in specifically. Hey, and that's the behavior and psychology of it. Because gnomes tend to just be like, okay, this is just a situation, and we're gonna continue doing what we're doing. We're not gonna question the status quo. This led to the mafia taking full control over the city and everything. So the mafia runs the city, technically speaking. But for the most part, you know, they still have a government system they vote for. It's hard to say exactly what's going on here. I should probably post this in my D&D chat here. So probably should have posted that in there. Let's thought about this, but I'm streaming more development for the world, and I'm working on the gnomes as I type this. So if you guys have any questions or want to watch the VOD later, just pop in and ask away. And I'm gonna do at Vestria players, so they understand that, you know, hey, I'm doing this now because, you know, some of them have questions about how I have my gnomes in here, especially for like Foch, especially Fasha. Fasha's been just like, how is the mafia trying to, what the hell? What's the hell is this government system? So, it all works out in the end. All right. That pretty much takes care of everything on this page, because we're not talking about the biological cycle. They're not like orcs that actually physically change their skin tone. Or dragonkin and when they reach coming of age and everything like that. I mean, I might put something in there later for biological cycle, but right now there's not much to be put in there. Expanded lore here. We already have the biological traits, the average lifespan, the average weight, everything like that. We got all those things. They don't have a symbiotic or parasitic species. They're not domesticated because of the things, and they have no uses because they're humanoid civilians. They have their uses. All right. Now we got all the other fun stuff. See, there's just so much information that World Anvil provides, and it's fantastic. What's their history, naming traditions, major organizations? The mafia. The mafia. Major organization, the mafia. We'll get this one. We'll come back to this one. Well, this is gonna be complicated. Beauty ideals. Alright, so the history of gnomes. Gnomes have existed on Cestria since... Okay, hold on a second. We're gonna pause real fast. I think it's saved. We added 1,800 new words to this already. Good God. That's a lot of words. And it was saved on 4:59:12. Well, I don't know what time zone they're keeping track of, but it's 8:59 right now, so I think the time zones are not the same. We're actually gonna go to timeline here real fast. I'm gonna go to the Cestria timeline. I specifically have it like when they first came in here. Vision of light, wind, light, and shadow. Fairies. The Fury of the Giants. So giants have been technically around since 2186. The fairies arrive in Cestria, so there's that. School of Arcane is discovered in 3448. Brazil is founded in 3458. So gnomes have technically been around for a while. We have the dawn time, which, you know, It's the dawn time. Little is known about this era as creation of the Dragonkin, and factions began to appear. Valandrel as the world tree begins to grow. Era of Fire is when like most conflicts. So they've been around. Yeah, as a race, they've been around since, you know, the Era of Fire. They've been around since the creation of the world, like in all technicality. We're gonna go back to the gnomes. We just got a whole bunch of them. Look at all that. Look at all that. Alright. Send prompts, couple of snippets. Oh, this, what did you say? Sometimes this it's the earliest records of history. Okay, some saying they were around during the dawn. During the Dawn Age. During the Dawn Age. But little evidence. Little evidence and proves this point. So there's that. I wonder, do my players respond to that? No, no one's responded to it. My players don't come in and ask me questions. No, they just take everything all at once and then question me then. Then I have to pause the game and explain it to them. Ugh. No one reads the lore that the TM puts their hard time and effort into. Anyway. Anyway. One thing. It is known that it is known that gnomes it is theorized that gnomes were once a fungus-like creature that eventually grew in intelligence thanks to the what is it? Thanks to the, let's say, interference of Thoros and Udin. Intelligence eventually, I forget, there is it's theorized Udin, Gnome Thoros, the god of earth, and Udin, the god of water. The titles, so we need to make sure that they are actually labeled as titles and properly capitalize God and not this the thing. And so they were, gnomes were once fungus-like creatures that grew in intelligence thanks to the interference of the gods. Oh, creation myth, guys. Thanks to the interference to their biological evolution. And first gnomes. In grew from their plant, their fungus-like form into the familiar humanoid form they have to the familiar let's see. Oh, stretch out the back a little bit. That's good. You sit down and you're typing slightly hunched back. Let's see. Let's arch the back and stand up straight like this. I have to this day. So that's the thanks to the interference of the god. Thanks to the interference of the biological evolution. And let's see. Seems. Let's go now. Prehistoric skeletal remains of ancient gnomes reveals that they were once a hunter-gatherer type species. Is much like any other races at the time. I can't spell ancient. Ancient. Closer to it? I hope that makes sense. Ancient. There we go. Yeah, that's more like it. Ancient, right there. Alright, even. Ancient. Thing. However, it is clear that they made great use of tools far more so than other prehistoric races at that time. There we go. Think. Their skulls were more bulky and larger than they are now. But evidence let's change. We'll change that here in a second. Ads are about to start up though, so we're gonna take a quick pause in writing here, and we're gonna have a chatting moment for everything like that. I don't know. Just because it can and everything like that. So honestly, I think I should just we'll just put this on right now because the ads are in progress and everything like that. So yeah. Many people would think like, hey, hey, this doesn't seem like, you know, a very entertaining sort of video to watch or anything, but in fact, there's just one thing that people do have to remember when it comes to any sort of world development, everything. Yes, and especially for D&D, this is DM advice for a DM and writer advice from Hida right now, to be specific. So I know that there's a lot of people like trying to, like, you know, they want to get into tabletop roleplay games, they want to get into Dungeons and Dragons, they want to do anything, they want to do this thing, and I've had people come up to me and ask me, hey, I want to get into this, where do I start? And I agree that the first place you should start is get the player's handbook. Get the player's handbook, get any sort of player's handbook for any of the game systems that you want to run, and look through it, read it, eat it, make a character, practice rolling dice and playing out scenarios in your head, and, you know, just follow the rules. If you can't find a game master, but you don't want to start being a game master because you heard, oh, it's too hard, it's really hard to be a game master, everything, then start by looking for like official games and everything. Dungeons and Dragons has the aforementioned Adventure League. Hey, these are official D&D games run on in game stores throughout the country and sometimes in other countries where, you know, you play the game rules as written. It's a fantastic way to play the game, learn the rules of the game, and, you know, it's a drop-in, drop-out scenario, so you don't have to commit to a solid set of adventures, but it does help to have that consistency to go through an entire story arc with a character, or from beginning at level 1 all the way up to level 20 if possible. Oh, I mean, there's very few like high-end levels. Most people usually end or stop playing that character, or that character usually dies at about like 8 or 9, or sometimes very early. It's hard to say, but that's the easiest way to start playing. Other advice I can give for DMs is that, yeah, it's not easy being a DM. There is a lot of work that goes into being a dungeon master, and this work can vary between a numerous amount of things. And one of the biggest things that you can see right now is world building. And this is something that I've actually been like, this world of mine in Terrace and Rohun isn't something that I just started one day saying like, oh, I'm gonna be a dungeon master. No, this world has technically been in the works for almost 2 decades now. So it has been refined, it's been grown, because I technically started DMing in 2007. I became a dungeon master in 2007. It's 2025 now, so you could tell. Oh, I've been a forever DM for the longest time, and I started off with 3.5 edition and everything like that, and that's where my Dungeons and Dragons tale comes in. But the basic concept of developing a world has been there from the beginning, and this world has grown from the original, let's do a Fire Emblem style world in a Tolkien-esque story pattern. And that was where like the original lore started. Was like I'm gonna write a book, and I'm gonna write like Lord of the Rings. It's gonna have so much detail packed into it, and it's gonna be based like off like Fire Emblem and everything with like all the stuff. Because I was really into Fire Emblem when I was a kid in 2007 and everything like that. So that's where this started. Pretty much was back then, and it's just grown to what it is now. There have been so many changes since the original creation of this thing, and here we are now. I'm fully developing out as you can see, I'm writing down the lore about the gnomes. It seems like it's coming really easy to me because I've thought about this for a very long time. So all I'm really doing is just putting these thoughts, this culture that I have in my head, down in Word. So now there's like concrete, solid foundation for it. That's pretty much what I'm doing right now. And as a dungeon master, or at least a starting dungeon master, or even just a world builder or a writer, you don't need to get everything down in concrete. If you have the idea, run with it. Just run with the idea. If you don't like something, change it. That's how it works. There's no right or wrong way to develop a world. Heck, some of the greatest fantasy worlds start off with a very simple concept. What's this town like? What's this character like? What's this world that this character lives in? Oh, it lives in a post-apocalyptic world. Well, what happened to the post-apocalyptic? And it's just a snowball effect that happens as you develop the story. So for me, this is just the continued snowball effect. I'm just now actually getting to writing more about it and everything like that. And I really do need to do this more often. The World Anvil page hasn't been updated in so long. It hasn't been updated in so long. So for those who are actually following the World Anvil page, congratulations, you're getting a massive update to gnomes specifically. And yes, while this may not be directly related to the video game itself, it is establishing more lore for any future video games I develop using RPG Maker or any other game system or game engine I decide to use. This is just where it starts. But again, it's based in the same world, and being a dungeon master is being a game designer. Pirate Software, or Thor, said it himself. Oh, if you're trying to get a game developer's job, if you have any D&D experience as a dungeon master, put it down. You're developing a game. In all technicality, you may be following a set of rules, but that's the rules of the game at that point. And can you keep the story? Can you keep the players interested in everything like that? And while in most scenarios, the standard fantasy of the world of the system you're playing in can hold its own because it was developed by game developers and everything like that, making your own world is not easy. You gotta have the know-how to make it adaptable and everything like that. So as a dungeon master, be adaptable. If your players want to have something in your world, unless it's like something completely counter to what you're trying to do. For instance, you want to run a fantasy setting, but you want a player that wants to have a laser gun and a starship, and it doesn't work or in this campaign thing. Yes, you have the full right to say no. But why don't we make you the inventor of guns? Something like that. As a dungeon master, work with your players. Don't work against your players. Yes, you are God. You are the rule maker. You are the referee. You are the storyteller. This is your world. But let the players be a part of it. Let them change how the world functions. Who would agree? Who would agree? There's a story. There's an actual book novel series I want to write in this world at some point. That story takes place 1,000 years before the D&D campaign I'm playing. The video game I'm working on the Tales from Cestria video game I'm working on, is based before this campaign, maybe by like 25 years. Yeah, so some of these players are either some of the characters in the campaign, the player characters, are either just being born or 2 years old. They're young. They have no history at the moment because they're just fledglings. It's innocent thing. Oh, that's just the way that it is. But the reason I'm doing it that way is because where my players are currently standing is the modern time. This is the current historical evidence of where they're at in this moment in time. And future campaigns will either happen at the same time but on a different location, or will happen after in a future time I am setting of this world. And any stories and any games or books I write about this world are either going to be way in the past or just in the past. They're not going to be about the players until the campaign is finished. And that's the thing you have to remember as a dungeon master, as I went on and explained this in a ridiculous amount of detail. The story of your players is more important than the story you want to tell. If you want to tell a specific story and you want specific things to happen in that story, write the book. Don't involve your players, write the book. Make up new characters, write the scenarios out, and make the story yourself. That is the best advice I can give. There's no need for you to push your fan fiction onto your players. Your players are developing their story. So if you have a player that wants to have a tragic backstory and become a Sasuke Uchiha edge boy like a lot of the rogues tend to be, or if you have someone that wants to base their character off an anime character from Jujutsu Kaisen, I'm calling you out on this one, Hanyakusha, then let them do that and work their narrative into the story and explain why this is. Because there's a character in this world now that exists because of my players. It wasn't a character that I created originally. There was no, this character didn't exist prior to the D&D campaign, but it came into existence because of the player. And that is Rory the Lich. And I'll just bring up that article right now. Because, wow, hello. Flashing. Let's see. Where is Rory the Lich? There it is. Rory, the biological lich. Here he is. Yes. That didn't work. How about we go to the people of the world, major NPCs, other creatures and monsters. Rory the biological lich. Can I what's going on here? Let me view the page here. There we go. Here it is. Rory the biological lich. It's Professor Rory Strandri Delancey, aka Bone Daddy. Named so by Hanyakusha. It's just a fancy little thing. But he's a lich. This guy is an undead creature, normally seen as an evil creature in D&D, and I made him a biologist. Why? Because I like to push trends and I like to be a little bit different things. It's perfectly fine to write a standard trope fantasy world. Dragons are evils, liches are bad, and humans are the most populated species in the planet. Dragonborn are rare sightings and shunned for their differences. Elves are racist towards everyone because they're so long-lived and everything like that. And it's perfectly fine to write those. But sometimes to make a world more interesting is to shift just a little bit, a little tiny shift in the understanding of something that is normal and make it different. For instance, Rory right here, the biological lich, the biologist lich. He's a lich. Why did he become a lich? Because he wants to study nature. Guy's 5,658 years old. For reference, let me bring up the timeline again. So exactly, how old is he? He's 5,000 years old. Well, we are currently, if I scroll down here, we're currently in 6,054. Or 6,050. We're in 6,055. Because it's now 6,055. I have an all technicality. This is where we're at in history. Rory was born, back in the era of fire. He was born back here. He's old. He's old as hell. He's seen so much of history. He is a glorified history book because he's so old, and that he became a lich so that he could study nature forever. Because you know, immortality is not what it's cracked up to be. Like, let's be honest with it. It's a reason why when I come here and everything like that, and I go to, you know, let's look at the established lores I have for like the elves here. The elves, where is it? Their average life is 900 years old. They live for 900 years. They don't live for, you know, ever. In fact, their lifespan is an average between 590 years old to 900 years old. So they don't always necessarily live up to 900 years old. Just like how humans' average lifespan in our modern day is between 65 and 100. Like, not everyone makes it up to 100 years old. 65 is, you know, the average life expectancy for most humans. So, you know, having a lich that's 5,000 years old, that's a godsend. And who knows? Maybe he was once an elf and is no longer an elf. Because he went to the undead. He became a necromancy as an undead. So it's small stuff like that. The most populated race in my world isn't humans, it's dragonkin. There are dragonkin all over the continent. They live in every city. They're so populated that there's even like a culture on the other side of the world. In the continent of Havor. Or it's a small contingency. They're not the dominant species over there, but that's how far spread dragonkin are. Elves being the second highest population. And they're not, and unlike in other traditional media, elves are not a dying species. No. They procreate just as much as humans do. They procreate just as much as dragonkin and humans. Human population has sprung up more so in the recent years due to the fact that they have been in the least amount of conflicts compared to the rest of the world. In fact, humans are kind of the byproduct of all of interspecies mating and everything like that. They have the characteristics of like gnomes and elves mixed together, but there's a lot of biological differences of it, and they might have a bit of dwarven ancestry in their blood, with them being, you know, more thing. They're just humans are the byproduct of all these other races just living their lives and then eventually commingling, coexisting, and just gradually spreading out through time. In fact, it wasn't until the first Dark War, which is in the history books as like, you know, the First World War, where humans had a predominant role in the land's history. More often than not, humans have always been kind of like the forgotten or the shunned bad blood, mixed blood. That's just the way that it's been. And again, the other slight shift is what we've done with the gnomes so far. Gnomes in a lot of traditional media are basically the quirky tinkerer type individuals. They're the ones that, you know, create the steampunk aesthetics to stuff. They're the ones that create the thing. What did I have them do here? Well, they created magic. They created the everyday magic that people use. So it's a different take on the standard quirk, but it's also different enough to make them more unique in this world versus every other world. They're not just, you know, the little garden things you put in your yard with the red hats and everything like that. I'm not saying that red caps don't exist in this world, because that's a fun little creature story that you can have for them. For those who don't know, in D&D, red caps are basically gnomes that have a cursed red cap put on them by hags that make them more violent and like kind of creepy. Fun fact. But that's my it's a long-winded set of advice for world development and DM tips from Hida. Very long segment here, but start off small. Don't worry about making this grand, massive world all at once. Develop it over time. Take your time, build it up piece by piece. If you need to add something, add something. If you need to remove something, remove it. If you need to tweak and change something, tweak and change it. When developing something like this, you have all the time you need to do stuff. You don't need to make it all at once. You don't even need to go into full detail about everything. You can. The options are there for you. But you don't need to. I don't need to go into like very specific things. I don't need to go into their courtships, the gnomes' courtships ideal, or their relationships ideal. I don't need to talk about, what their dress code is. I don't need to explain their specific taboos, stuff like that. I don't need to go into all this stuff, but if you want to, you can. That's the beauty about being a world builder. That you have the options available to you, but you are not limited or constrained to do so. Don't feel like, oh, I'm a new dungeon master and I have to build this fantastic world for my players. No. Build a shitty town in the middle of bumfuck nowhere, and they're having a rat problem. A giant rat problem. Start your story there, and then expand, and then grow. One location at a time. And eventually, you'll have a world. That's what's important. Work with your players, start small, and gradually build upon it. God, that was a long-ass segment of mine. I just went off there. Okay, anyway. What was that, like? Almost a half an hour? Good God. Good God. I rambled there. That was good. I like it. All right. Where was I? Yes, here we are. Prehistoric skeletons in Villeneuve, under one kind of thing. There are skeletal structures. Skeletal structures show that their skulls were once larger than their bodies, but as time progressed, their bodies gradually balanced out to better fit their skull. Nice. So pretty much, yeah, they started off because they got altered to be like super intelligent, so they got big brains real fast, but the bodies were slow to catch up. Wait, gradually. Let's do that. Gradually did that thing. The skull had a mix of sharp teeth to eat meat with, as well as molars to grind up plants and other fibrous vegetations. Another fibrous vegetation. I don't know if that's correct. I will look that up proper later. I just wanted to add that in there, so it's just like, you know, think gradually grow. All right, on to the next paragraph. And you know what we're gonna do? We're also going to just drop this out. I think we'll finish off writing the history of the gnomes, because this is kind of the biggest thing here. And again, I try to keep these game dev streams short, but it's been a while since we've done it, so we're going a little bit longer, because especially since I went up on that tangent.
Oh dear, I'm sorry. But you know,
I had thoughts I had to say. Let's see. So we're looking at the prehistoric time, the history. So, God dang it. Well, let me do this here. We're gonna open up a new tab. It's gonna be right here. Again, we're on the internet page, and we have the bar up top there, but I have it hidden. Hello. Ooh. Refresh. No. Timeline. Hello. Oh, that would probably help. Here we go. Open that link up into a new tab. There we go. God, blinds. God. Ugh. That hurt. All right, let's see. Here we go. So this is where I want to say. During the era of light, at the beginning of the era of light, wait. I say during the era of light in the year 3448. Alright. What's it done? In the era of light in the year, what is it? 3448. That's what I said. 3448. And then the year 3448. The first magical researchers has discovered and a new type of magic that could be used by non-naturally magical creatures. Used by non-naturally magical creatures. There we go. Discovered. Ping. This discovery was sparked by a few individuals who witnessed the constant warfare between the Dragonkin Azamar and Azamar between the Dragonkin and other races, aces and felt that it was individuals' constant warfare, Dragonkin, which is right there, that's fine, and felt that it was what's a good term? What's the way to describe it? Oh. I felt that it wasn't. I felt that it wasn't entirely fair. That wasn't entirely fair that only a handful of races could use magic when in other creatures that were not of that race would. So they began to investigate wildlife and other naturally occurring magical other magical brain shut down there. My brain shut down there. I had it in my head. I had it, and then it just went out the door. And bye. See you tomorrow. And other naturally occurring magical phenomenon. That's the word. Phenomenon. And in the world, and eventually discovered a way to tap into a natural magical energy of the world, thus creating arcane magic. As hello, add-ons. Oh my god. Go away! I'm typing here. Alright. Nope, that's caps lock. As research of arcane magic progressed, the gnomes at the time began to classify the various types of magic into different types and eventually different schools of magic itself. Classify types of different types and eventually different schools of magic itself, thus creating the modern and arcane magical classification system still used to this day. There we go. Oh, okay. Okay. With this new magic, magic, the gnomes quickly created a name for themselves in the greater culture of Destria as a whole. There we go. Fingers. Whole. Great. Sure. Oh. I cannot spell culture today. Culture. Right, is that close enough to it? Culture. There we go. Close enough. Sometimes you just have to get close, guys. Sometimes you just have to get close. And then themselves over here. Themselves. There we go. Alright. Reminds me, I should probably... let's do this thing. Eee. Come back up to here. Read the full story. Ah, it's bright. Ah, it hurts. No, that didn't work. All right, let's go back to here. The formation of law. Oh, it's just back in. And there's a bunch of stuff in here. Behold, the navigation of my world. It's not very conducive to life and everything like that, but it gets the job done. Religion! Pantheon. There we go. Just making sure I spelled Ilmtharos correctly here. So I'm gonna copy that, and just to make sure. Ilmtharos! I did misspell it. Haha! Udin still spelled correct. Udin. Nope, I still spelled it wrong. I spelled my own god's names, guys. Blah! There we go. Udin. There's an in there. The silent N, guys. Udin. It's Undin. And then Ilmtharos. That's where gnome their name from. Because Ilmtharos created the gnomes. Haha! But there's no correlation between that whatsoever. I don't know. Yes, Ilmtharos is known for creating. Ilmtharos is, you know, God is weird. God's so weird, man. Yes, Ilmtharos created the gnomes and the dwarves, technically. That's technically what happened there. Dragonkin were kind of invented, I believe, by... hard to say who created them, but specifically in this world, Ilmtharos created them. Ha 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 ha. I think you gotta say that. Ilmtharos is kind of the god of life. Ilmtharos, yeah, I can deal with that. If Udin is the god of knowledge and everything like that, then Ilmtharos is the god of life. Of the Earthen Father. I better make a note of that for myself later on. Ilmtharos, the Earthen Father. Oh, he'll beat you with the backside of a ruler for disagreeing with you. And go empty the trash, as Ilmtharos says to empty the trash. I've been working on this for too long, I think. Well, is what it is, I guess. Is what it is, I guess. I mean, that's interesting. Huh. I was just investigating something else real fast. Nothing too fancy, nothing too fancy. Alright, anyway. Where were they? Oh. Dang. Let me just go back to the... Oh, we're gonna go back to the history of it. Yes. History is history. Right here. So... Igard rises, Era of Light, Dragonia is founded, elves rebuild their cities, the founding of Thorvendas, the Dwarven capital, the fairies arrive in Cestria, so that's when they kind of pop in. no one's been around since the beginning. But then Purcell. Yeah, 10 years later, the magical city of Purcell is founded. Let's go here real fast. Yep. So this is what 3458. 10 years. With their guidance, other races and cultures began to learn how to wield magic in their day-to-day life. 10 years later, the magical city of... let's see, I think we can actually do what? I know there's a way to actually, you know, I know there's a way to incorporate and began to learn magic. I know there's a way to do this. Wait, let's do this. Let's go here. Organizations, factions, militant organization, Council of 12, Adventurers Guild. Oh wait, no, I have it here. So if I go into here, I only have the Goddess of Light and Shadow built in because those are the more relevant for most of the campaign. These have been the more relevant gods. I have to get Oscar. I have to get Efrithe, Udin, Nomthros, and Safa. Alright, it's the 4 actual like element gods built. Agu Bagu. Where is organizations and factions? Let's go to my god. Okay, so yeah, we have it here. Hey, look at the Shul Shaddai. Dual-bladed weapon. Here we go. There's your martial weapon information right there. And the High Guard. It here. Here we go. We can edit organization. I can come into here. Okay, so we do the tag for them. That's how we do it. Alright, so back over to here. Do at. There's no we don't actually have. Alright, so we don't have that. The magical city of, and then we're just gonna come back here. We're gonna go back to timeline because timeline is very important right now. Brazil. Just to make sure I'm actually spelling it correctly, Brazil. Magical city of Brazil is formed. is 10 years later, the magical city of Brazil is founded and constructed. And becomes the home for the continued learning and studying of arcane magic. Studying. That's not. Studying. There we go. That's the correct one. Alrighty then. So this one we got to do at if I do okay, seriously? Okay, let's try this again. At dragon. There we go. At dragon species. There we go. And other races. That way they actually have that link in there to be able to do that. All right. Let's see. All right, we're getting pretty late into the evening, and even though my door is closed and everything like that, it is getting time to sing. And yeah, we've gone what, 2 hours and 50 minutes into this, and so we got a good amount of stuff. Let's go ahead. We're gonna unclick here. Is there a way to? Nope, that's just settings for the web page. Right, go away sidebar. There we go. Now we got full screen. Just gonna type in something. Space. Click off. Okay. In the bottom right hand corner, in the bottom left hand corner, I do see it like actually like, you know, saving, because they don't have the save button up here anymore. They have it automatically saving, which is really nice. But here we go. Flashbang, everybody. Okay. Not ready. Flashbang. There it is. All right, so here we are. It's not finished yet. There's a lot more that I'm going to be working on. But I think, you know, for as late of a stream that we're doing, I think we made very good progress. So here we are looking at this. So, you know, gnomes are an interesting. Gnomes ancestral are an interesting lot. One, they are probably the most erotic, eccentric rate into of all the races, obsessed over the pursuit of knowledge and advance. Over knowledge and advancement, and they are for one of the larger populations. Is it larger population? I forget, and I have to double check that. Easy way to double check that. Let's go to view world. We'll just go to the races of Cestria, and yep, they're one of the larger races because it goes down in population wise. Fairies have the lowest population because they are small. Anyway, but there we go. Here we are, a good start to gnomes as a culture in the thing. I do need to separate these. This is just a blob of text, which doesn't look very good, sadly. When we go to like comparisons of, say, the actual like dragonkin, like when we look at the dragonkin, like there's actually separation in space there, except for the naming tradition. I gotta fix this. There's a few things I definitely gotta work out. Like this is an entire thing that I just kind of dumped in there, unfortunately. You know what, we're just gonna hit back and then back. Go back to editing the species, and I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna add an extra space between these sections here, just to, you know, just to make sure that there's enough space between everything. So especially on stuff that actually has multiple sections, which is mostly just the history. So We'll give it an extra space and an extra space. There we go. That should, go view it now, separate the dialogue into enough digestible stuff. And, you know, that's the start of it. So, there we are. That's just a good start. And again, it may not be directly related to the RPG Maker game, but it is still part of the same world. These gnomes now have a bit of history to them. They have a bit of description for them, and they are now more established in the world than they were ever before. I haven't gotten into the actual political situation for them. That's a complicated situation in and of themselves, but I did talk about their behavior and explain that, you know, this means they lose focus on the things around them, and they led many to feel that they lack backbone because they're so focused on their own tasks that they're willing to accept pretty much any standard, like, or any new change as long as they can continue doing what they're doing. And that's how, and that's secretly how, and that's in truth how the mafia took over the city, because no one stopped them. They just accepted it. And thus, it leads to the strange scenario that we have in Brazil at this moment, where there's a government that runs the city, but the mafia also runs the city. So who's actually in charge? The mafia, technically, but they don't govern the city. They just run it. And that's the way it is. Anyway, I want to thank you guys for coming out. Don't go anywhere yet, guys. We are going to go raid an individual right now. I'm not sure who we're going to raid, but we're going to go raid somebody. Again, this video is going to be uploaded to YouTube very shortly after this thing has gone live. So if you're checking this out on YouTube, then hey, welcome. Please like, comment, and subscribe. It does help the channel thing. I know I haven't posted a lot of stuff. I have been very busy with a lot of external stress things and whatnot, and as such, you know, we've been struggling with a few things. So we're gonna go raid someone who's playing a different thing. And again, this is streamed on Twitch, so follow me on Twitch. Oh, never mind, he just went offline. So we're not gonna raid that person. We're gonna raid someone completely different. Not many people up this late. A lot of people playing VR chat. There's just a lot of people playing VR chat. So you know what? Let's go raid this person who I don't know if they're about to stop stream or not, but we're gonna go raid them anyway. So raid Evito Zen. There we go. Again, leave a like, comment, and subscribe on the YouTube channel. Check out the regular streams on Thursdays and Fridays over here at twitch.tv/HidaKamui. Check out the come watch the actual Tales from Cestria live every other Friday. So next Friday, not this Friday, next Friday will be the next game at the time of this airing. And I hope I didn't lose something. I know I think I lost something there. I don't know. We'll find out. We'll find out in a moment. In the meantime, though, for the Twitch side of things, let's go raid. And yeah, thank you guys for your continued support. I know it's been a while for any sort of game development stream, and yeah, I'm trying to get back into it. We'll have some more actual RPG Maker content in the days to come. But for now, you know, world building is just as important as making the actual game itself. So, have a good one, everyone.